Welcome to Indianapolis and day one of our coverage of the 83rd edition of the U.S. Open. Landin Jordan should be worrying about prom dates and midterms, but the 18-year-old has a chance to make bowling history this weekend. So too does five-time major winner Anthony Simonsen. FS1 welcomes you inside Royal Pin Woodland for the first major of the young PBA season. Tomorrow on Fox, those top four are in action, which includes back-to-back Player of the Year EJ Tackett and your #1 overall seed Andrew Anderson. Tonight, it's seeds 9 through 5 battling to make it to Sunday. Prather has a chance to make Triple Crown history. Anthony Simonsen goes for his 6th major plus. Watch out for the teenager, Landin Jordan. So glad you're here with us this weekend. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson. We're still doing this, baby. You and me, we're still doing it, kid. Year 26 calling PBA action for the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson. Listen, the headliner today, though, without a doubt, it's Anthony Simonsen looking for his 4th straight top 5 finish here at one of the most demanding tournaments on the tour.
Well, I'll tell you what, when it comes to major championship competition, Anthony Simonsen knows best, does he not? Look at the career this young 28-year-old has already put together. 16 wins, 5 of those being majors. And today, he will make the U.S. Open Telecast 6 out of the last 7 years. If there's one thing we've come to know about young Anthony Simonsen, no stage is too big for him.
Yeah, you go back to the year 2022. At the age of 25, he became the youngest to win the U.S. Open. That record could be absolutely obliterated this weekend by the 18-year-old Landin Jordan. This kid is just a senior right now at Sycamore High in Illinois.
Isn't he supposed to be in school?
Right.
I didn't get a note. I didn't see a note. And I swear I thought I saw a truant officer roaming the crowd earlier. But there he is. I talked to tour rep Tim Mack prior to the start of today's telecast. I asked him, I said, what makes him so special? And he said, Randy, he's got a magical hand. He can do anything with a bowling ball. The roll, the rotation, the speed. And he said he's fearless. Good combination.
Yeah, not bad at all. For more on the teenager from just outside Chicago, we go laneside. The Queen, Kimberly Pressler, standing by with him.
Thanks, guys. So, Landin, last year at just 17 years old, you were 15th in the U.S. Open, but this year you were one show away from making a major telecast. And I mean, you've got to have a mountain of confidence in order to come here and compete against these guys. Where does that come from?
It just comes from, my process and practice. I know that I can come out here and compete, and competing at youth tournaments and working with my dad and mental coaches. I've just learned to be confident in myself and know that I have the ability to be out here.
Well, let's talk about your process and working with your dad, because you told us in the pre-show interviews that you guys actually specifically did stuff for this competition. What was that?
Yeah, we bowled a lot on the flatter patterns, a lot of harder patterns that kind of similar to that we see this week. We bowled on posts and former U.S. Open patterns, so that preparation for this week really helped.
Well, the last question I have for you, and it's a big one, it's important. I'm sure Rob wants to know the answer to this, and so does everybody else. Are you worried about prom dates and your midterms, or no?
I am looking for a prom date, but midterms, we'll worry about that when we get there.
I am pretty sure you're going to have a lot of ladies calling after this show. Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Hey, I like how he's prioritizing things. I'm going to worry about the prom date. The academics will take care of himself. Hey, the kid's already got a gig, right? We already know where he's going.
Matchmaker Rob.
Right? Hey, man, whatever I can do for America's youth, that's what I'm here for. Here's a look at today's matchups. The U.S. Open presented by Go Bowling. This is the play-in round. Stepladder bracket. We start with Fach taking on Kris. Prather. There is Prather, your number 8 seed from Romeoville, Illinois. And he'll get us going tonight here on FS1. The U.S. Open live on Fox Sports. Start.
And I think it's important to point out, Rob, that these 5 players on this afternoon's telecast, they just completed this tournament just a few hours ago.
Right. Up next, Fach, your 9 seed from Urbana, Ohio. Off to a pretty good start this season. Last week won the Delaware Classic, his first title in 9 years. Come on, really? Already the 10-pin?
And speaking of his win last week, Rob, he averaged 260 for his 3 games on the telecast last week. And here you see him leaving that ripping 10. Another interesting story about Graham, and maybe we can get a shot of it. He's suffering an injury on his middle finger. You can see it's bandaged there. He had to take the insert out of that finger hole.
Takes care of the 10-pin. So this is last weekend out in Middletown, Delaware, the 3-seed Fach taking down your top seed, Jacob Buttriff. It was the all-lefty final. 277 he dropped on Buttriff. A 77-pin win. The second career PBA title for Fach. His first in 3,261 days. That's almost 9 years, Randall. He became the first Canadian to win a PBA Tour event in 2016 when he won the 2016 PBA Players Championship. So Fach, spare, moves over to the left lane. Oh, wow.
Drifting high, goes through the nose. He pays for it. 4-6-10 left up for Fach. Amazing what he's able to do with no insert in that middle finger. He's using an insert for the ring finger. He said, I took that insert out, which now obviously that finger hole is going to be very big. He had to tape it up and then tape up his finger.
Spare open frame, not the start you want when you've got a long climb just to get to tomorrow's action.
Yeah.
Fach takes a seat. Prather jumps up. Prather with a strike in the first. This will be his first foray on the right lane.
As we take a look at his arsenal, Prather throwing optimum idle on the left lane, exponent on the right lane. Beauty.
Here's a look at today's oil pattern, the 2025 U.S. Open. It's pattern number 4, runs 41 feet.
And for this event, we actually used 4 patterns. The last 3 rounds all used pattern number 4. And what makes this pattern unique is it's equal oil all the way across the lane, with the exception, Rob, of the 6th and 7th board on both sides of the lane having no oil.
What does that mean to my mom watching back in Florida?
That means that the players are going to try to use those 2 dry boards at some point down the lane.
Back-to-back jacks for Prather.
And there's Graham Fach's arsenal going with mindset. It's always good to have a good mindset, Rob.
I agree. Again, for what is this now, the 5th straight year? Again, we ask the bowling ball manufacturers of America to reach out to Randy and myself to name their bowling balls.
Still waiting.
Still nothing on my answering machine. I come running home every day from Denny's to try to see if anybody's left a message on it. Nothing.
Wait, Denny's and you have an answering machine? Drifts a little high once again, but this time just the 6 for Graham Fach. Boy, what a performance he put on last week.
Curls that one in for the spare.
14 of 14. We got all our great stats from our good friends at Lane Talk. For more information, visit lanetalk.com and download the free app.
Ripped open that left middle finger last week. He said it went up about 5 grip sizes due to the swelling. Really painful. Certainly impacted him. He's saying he was getting fatigue in that forearm. And again, they've been bowling all morning just to survive and get here to tonight. And then hoping to get to tomorrow's action live on Fox.
All right. Graham Fach with a strike in the 4th. A little more room with this shot here. Might have been a move with his feet a little bit more towards the center part of the lane and gets the light hit tickler. Now, Prather started with 3 in a row. The position round game, he finished with the last 9, so he's got an Andy Verapapa 300 game.
I was going to say that.
right there.
Yeah, opening ham bone. Flashback to the 2022 PBA World Championship. He was sporting that kind of junior mustache, taking on Jason Sterner. It was like the starter set for mustaches. His 5th career PBA title, 2nd career major. Went to a 1-ball sudden death roll off. We saw Sterner earlier today.
Yep.
5 in a row.
What a start.
Again, seeds 5 through 9 in action today. The lone survivor moves on to tomorrow's broadcast, 4 p.m. to 6 over on Fox, the championship round of the 2025 U.S. Open presented by Go Bowling. Fach 9 seed. Oy, oy, oy.
Again high. Just not enough head belly through the front part of the lane.
I'm sorry, head belly?
Yep, that front part of the lane, he needs to kind of open that part up a little bit more. It's a low volume of oil, so too direct through the front part of the lane, the ball's going to go high.
Oh, late kick of the 7. You know what that is, Randy?
Tell me.
It's my first ever The Clean Wipe, presented by Dude Wipes. Little headbutt to drop the 7.
Yeah, man.
Wipes that one clean.
One wipe, no stripe. I never leave home without my Dude Wipes.
Is that really their slogan?
No, that's mine. I miss
What
Dude.
world did I just walk back into?
Well,
That pulse over the 7 pin.
that time he does give it a little bit more room, but leaves that ring in 7.
This is a big early hole Fach created for himself.
Yeah, just 1 strike through 6. Prather front 5.
What a start for your 8 seed, Kris Prather. Perfect through 5. We wrap up our 8 versus 9 matchup. The survivor to take on the teenage prodigy, Landin Jordan. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by the United States Bowling Congress. The USBC is working together to build a future for the sport of bowling at all levels. Visit bowl.com today to find out more. Rob Stowe, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler back here with you just outside Indianapolis. The U.S. Open presented by Go Bowling coming your way live from Royal Pin Woodland here on FS1. Tomorrow, our coverage of the final over on Fox. Huge early lead for Kris Prather as he looks for the front 6. Randy! Back over that 6-pack, baby! We're gonna have a fun little Saturday night.
I missed that.
You're not alone. What a start for Prather.
I'm being told it's the first time that he has started with the front 6 all tournament long. It's a good time for it to happen.
Who's telling you that?
Our stat guy. Yeah, he didn't like it.
Nope.
As soon as he let it go. Got it inside the target just a bit. See it right there, but just the 3-6 shouldn't be a problem for Prather. Watch his reaction as soon as he lets go of it. Well, can't see it there, but this one's definitely inside a target.
Trust us. Cleans it up. Well, he's really going for that Clark Kent look today, isn't he, with that little comma hanging off onto his forehead? Really leaning into it.
If it was just curling the other direction,
Yeah.
it'd be spot on, right?
Here's Fach, your 9 seed. Down 63. Heck of a start to the season, though, for Fach.
Really
It's a strike right there. Let's take a look at our Bowl TV highlights. Now, earlier this afternoon, one of the best ever, Jason Belmonte right there, a chance to surpass Prather, earn a spot in our show in the 48th game. The last game in the position round, needed to strike out in the 10th to have any chance. Left that split, couldn't clean it up. He was less than happy after that one. And Graham Fach able to slide in there as that 9 seed, Prather the 8.
And
Pete, huh? What are we doing?
oh man.
Fach grew up in Ontario, Canada. Bowled for 4 years with Urbana University, permanent resident here in the United States. Second open frame, almost did clean that one up.
Hi, buddy.
Take a look at some of the other finishers here at the US Open, those that will not be gracing television. There's Belmo at number 10, just missing the cut. Jacob Buttruff at 14. Timmy Tan, number 15. Cameron Crowe, what a week he had. Coming in at 16th.
John Janowitz, senior, had a 300 game as well this week. Great bowling, Johnny. Big miss inside.
Is this lanes breaking down early, or is this Kris just being a little bit off after that great start?
Yeah, the second, just missing target left. Again, remember the dry board's at 6 and 7 on both sides of the lane, but outside of that, a lot of oil.
Oh!
Not as much fun as yours. Yeah.
Similar to Graham's conversion.
Well, when it's all over but the shout, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
have that type of reaction, right? Back on the strike train is Prather. Tonight over on Fox, it's Primetime Hoops, and two of the Big East's best tip off the back-to-back defending national champs from the University of Connecticut, taking on number 9 Marquette. That one at 7:30 Eastern. Huskies have hit a bit of a rough patch as of late. Marquette, the highest ranked team in the Big East. Strike there for Fach. It'll be Prather moving on, taking on the teenager, Landin Jordan.
Graham could use some time off before next week. Get that finger healed up. He said he bought all the Neosporin that he could buy to try to get it healed for this week. Pretty amazing what he's done with just one insert.
Yeah, he's saying, you know, all week, I wasn't at my best. I was just hanging on, and eventually when you're hanging on too long, you're going to start to lose that grip.
Yeah, and because of that middle insert not being there, he said massive fatigue in his forearm.
Just compensating
Yep.
for everything that was there, so might have caught up to him with that morning session and then having to roll under the lights here on FS1. Again, the finals tomorrow over on Fox beginning at 4 Eastern. Finish strong. One more for Graham Fach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. You too. Great job. Keep it up. Thank you.
Fach with a 190.
Y'all don't have to stop. Keep going.
There you go. Good man, Kris. Get this crowd going. Keep it going.
Fitting.
Now sit back.
No, stop.
All right, so when we return, we're going to honor the 15-year anniversary of the 2010 U.S. Open, which just happened to be won by that man, Bill O'Neill. We welcome you back to the 2025 U.S. Open presented by Go Bowling. We flash back to the year 2010 right here in this facility. Mike Scroggins, Scroggy. There would be no party at Scroggy's that night because Bill O'Neill, your number 2 seed, rolled the final 10 strikes of the match to take care of Scroggy, 267, 207. His first career major and second career PBA Tour title. You finished 5th here last year as well. The great Bill O'Neill joining us right now. What do you remember from that U.S. Open title win?
I remember it changed my life. That was only my second career title, and I beat Mike Scroggins, who had won the year before. And you know, to win the U.S. Open as your second title is not something that happens a lot.
Sorry,
so
Commissioner Tom Clark.
You know, that was a really special moment for me, and it changed my career and changed my life.
I hate to interrupt.
Please do.
It's great to remember Bill's win here. I remember sitting there in the front row. It was incredibly exciting. I also know that you joined the PBA 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's been a privilege to watch your family grow and watch your career and the way you've carried yourself and the accomplishments on the lanes. And it's my honor to tell you today that you have been elected to the PBA Hall of Fame.
Hey, really?
Yeah, so congratulations,
man.
Bill.
That's incredible. Oh, thank you so much.
Sorry to surprise you with it. But.
That was, Well, listen, Rob's here, so I knew something had to be going on. He doesn't really come around that often anymore, so thank you.
He's going to throw that dagger at me. Congrats, brother. So happy for you, man. Well deserved, man. Well deserved, man.
You're going to get me all choked up.
Yeah, that's the idea. We love putting choked up people on television. When we take a look at your career, man, and
that's really cool.
You find that out right here on live television. I know it's not fair, and I know you got family watching back home, but you know, what does this moment mean to you, my friend?
You know, I've been out here a long time, and a lot of travel, a lot of sacrifice. You know, you miss a lot of your kids, you know, happy moments at home, and you know, it's all worth it with just that one moment right there.
Beautiful. You know, I remember Bill's first U.S. Open finals. It was at Carolier Lanes.
Right.
How old were you then? I think you were still in college, were you?
I was older than Landin is out there today, actually. I think I was probably like 20, 23, 24, something like that.
And I think you just missed the show. I think you finished 6th.
I finished 6th, and you know, that's the event that gave me enough confidence to be like, you know what, I think I can do something out here. You know, I don't know how good it's going to turn out, but
it's turned out really well, my friend.
It turned out well.
It's right. And you're going to stick around. You're going to call a couple matches for us as well, right? We're going to get our paycheck out of you.
That's right.
Mr. Future Hall of Famer Bill O'Neill.
Hey,
by the way, earlier today, a PBA Hall of Fame announcement as well that you were a part of, my friend.
Yeah, man, that was pretty special to introduce George Branham III. He's going into the Hall as well, and
that's awesome.
Just there it is right there. I mean, a pioneer in our sport, just so deserving. And I've known George for over 40 years. We roomed together, we bowled as juniors together, and he's just a very special man.
Hey, historic evening here in Indy. Plenty more from the U.S. Open coming up next here on FS1. Tomorrow for Easter, live on Fox, we crown a champion in our first major of the year here at the U.S. Open at Royal Pin Woodland. Last year, one of the greatest stepladders in history. Kyle Troup, the 3 seed, dropped E.J. Tackett and Jason Belmonte to reach the championship match against Anthony Simonsen. Troup won it in the 9th frame, 223-181, his second career major and 11th PBA Tour title. Your number 1 seed this year is Andrew Anderson, who's standing by live right now with Kimberly.
Thanks, Rob. So, Andrew, you're the number 1 seed coming into tomorrow's U.S. Open, and since day 2 of this competition, you have not let go of the lead. How is it that you maintain that lead on these brutal lane conditions?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of patience. Didn't even know I had enough patience to do that, but here we are. So it's been a grind, and I expect tomorrow to be the same.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, but let's talk about today. Now, I know you're kind of doing triple duty. You're checking out the lanes for tomorrow, but you're also here rooting on your doubles partner who you've won with twice, but you're also the coach to Landin. Now, they're going head-to-head right now, but I have to ask you about Landin. When did you know that there was something unique and special about him?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to coach him a little less. He's getting a little too close to beating me all the time. I'm not a huge fan of that, but yeah, great kid, incredible bowler as you guys are seeing. I think I've known that for a long time. His parents definitely know that, and now the world gets to see it. So it's a hard match. It's a win-win for me. I will hope they both bowl great, but yeah, I don't know. I can't cheer for anybody. No clapping.
Oh, come on, you're not. I'm going to put you on the spot here. You got to be. Are you just going to be rooting for both of them?
I hope they bowl great.
That's a great PC answer. Back to you guys.
It was the only answer he was afforded, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get out of it as we take a look at our updated Stepladder bracket. And you saw Kris Prather with that 244, 190 win. And now he has your 7-seed Landin Jordan, Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, the soon-to-be inducted Hall of Famer Bill O'Neill, or as your friend Jason says, William O'Neill, joining us here in the booth for the next two matches. Congrats again, man. We're so proud of you.
Thank you so
You're one
much.
of our favorites. You know that.
I appreciate that. You guys have always been super nice to me on these shows. I mean, Randy calls me old all the time, but other than that,
That's because every time you're on a telecast, everybody on the show is like 23.
well, yeah,
And you make it.
That's because
That's a compliment. I mean, you're the elder statesman, man.
We're about to see another one, right?
Yeah,
right here.
Landin Jordan, the 18-year-old, stepping up right now. And that jersey looks like a jersey would hang on a 5'9", 135-pound senior in high school. Two-handed style, whips it in. Come on, 10-pin.
Bill, how much of Jordan have you seen?
Not a whole lot. I think he bowled one of the events last year.
He made match play
Yeah.
in this event last year, finished 15.
Oh, maybe then that's where I saw him. Maybe you're right. I am old, Randy. I forgot
You're already
that.
forgetting things.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, you can tell that this kid's got a lot of game.
Yeah.
He's poised. You know, I mean, that's to throw it. I mean, that's a really good shot to throw for your first attempt on TV. He's 18.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a tough setting, and that first shot was pretty good.
Look how quiet it gets for the youngster who's got a lot of family in tow here this weekend.
Sub-Zero Forge going down the lane. And a little light. That's all right. You know, for me, guys, the U.S. Open was always the most demanding, toughest tournament to win. I never got close to winning a U.S. Open for a number of reasons. The format, the oil patterns, just the sheer number of players. Bill, would you agree with that?
Oh,
toughest tournament to win.
100%, especially now with the multiple patterns. You know, there's just so many different things you have to overcome during the week to get to this point, and you know, so it's so many games. You're mentally as drained as you are physically after you're completed each day.
And yet, an 18-year-old is on the telecast.
Back-to-back 9 spares for Landin Jordan. Here's Prather, your 8 seed, working off a strike.
Looks like he's going to go with the same ball on both lanes to start game 2.
Another strong start. Remember, had the front 6 in our opening match. Opens with a pair here. Chance to win the Triple Crown this weekend. Back in 2020, won the TOC. 2 years later, the World Championship. Only 9 have won the Triple Crown in bowling. Prather trying to become the 10th. Needs to just survive today first and then get to Sunday.
How good is this game?
Kris's game?
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people to watch bowl. Because when he gets to the bottom of the swing, the reason why his ball reaction is so good right now is that his hand is really, really soft at the bottom. And what I mean by that is when he gets to release the ball, there's not a lot of excess like torque So the ball is not hooking that early, and so it's able to just float down the lane. And so when it changes direction, it's not going forward, it's continuing through the pits.
Still looking for his first strike, and now he's staring at a potential open frame.
Four, 7, 10. Try to get the ball to the left side of the 4-pin, cut it over into the 10. First time he's left this all week.
This young man won the 2021 PBA Junior title at Bolero Euless in Texas. Dropped Eric Jones, 257, 225. The new PBA Junior program helped open the door for him to be in this position. Remember, finished 15th overall at last year's U.S. Open here in Indianapolis. The braces are gone. The talent is still there. And there's his first strike.
Attaboy. Actually playing the pair 4 and 2 left of Kris Prather. 4 boards with his feet, 2 with his targets, so playing him just a little bit deeper. And Prather off to another hot start as he did in game 1. And Bill, you really touched on Prather in his form. Like I always talked about how you could balance a plate of food on his head at the release point.
To me, he's kind of like the modern day version of, say, like Doug Kent.
Yeah.
You know, like just and he's
right.
very versatile, like Doug, and there's really not a whole lot you can put on the lane where you know, he wouldn't be a factor.
And
he has that kind of game.
And he can play any part of the lane. He can loft it halfway down the lane. He can hook the entire lane, throw it straight.
I mean,
he's got all the tools.
It's why he's able to be a little bit further right than Landin right now because of the just how soft his hand is at the bottom. It's almost like kind of how Pete used to do it on TV.
Yeah.
Where his hand would be really soft and he could get around it, and he was able to navigate the front part of the lane.
Wow, is that sexy? Check out the numbers right there. Almost identical at the break point and arrows. And we talked about the oil pattern build, the 6-7 board being dry on both parts of the lane, and you can see his break point being right in between those 2 boards.
Yeah, I mean, he's managing this oil pattern incredible right now, and just he's seeing the lane really well, and obviously he has a ton of confidence in his game. Almost every shot he throws is right on target.
So another spare opportunity for Landin Jordan. Kimberly with more on the teenager.
Well, guys, talk about when dreams come reality. When we just saw the footage of Landin winning the PBA Junior Championship, he then went on to win the doubles event with E.J. Tackett, you know, who's one of his idols. And that was on February 1st, 2022. Fast forward 3 years to the day, and he finds himself on this show with a chance of advancing to the U.S. Open Finals.
He's down 56 early, though, to Kris Prather. Quite an accomplishment just to get to this stage for an 18-year-old. Heck, for anybody. 18, 28, 38, 48. As you guys have been talking about, Bill, Randy, just how challenging, how demanding, how difficult this tournament is, and then to navigate it as a teenager, all the more impressive.
Yeah, no matter what you do during the week, the TV experience is so much different. And so it's one of those things where you have to experience it a bunch in order to be able to feel comfortable and to be good at it, because everything is so different than during the week, and the lanes play way different. You know, you just have a lot of people in here, so it creates a lot more heat. You know, and the lanes you really reflect that.
Cleans up the 10-pin. But it's Prather off to another big, strong start and an early lead. First time, though, Landin Jordan is going to have some cash in his pocket after a PBA tourney, but there's a hook. We'll tell you that next. Registration for the 2025 PBA LBC National Championships now open to bowlers of all skill levels. PBA LBC National Championship returning to the Chicago area. Includes a division for everyone. You can compete in singles as well as optional doubles and team events. Even combine your scores with the pros. Enter today at PBA.com. And is that Jonna Brandolino that I'm looking at?
It is.
Yeah, the Juliet, Illinois native.
Dancing like she did when she actually beat Kris Prather.
Back at the 2024 PBA LBC.
Who can forget that? That was awesome.
Oh, my goodness. So Prather started her opening match striking in the first 6 frames. He's trying to match it right now. He's currently up substantially, 57 pins on the 18-year-old Landin Jordan.
Wow.
Back-to-back opening 6-packs for Prather.
And we spoke about it earlier, how Landon's playing the lanes a little bit deeper, but Bill O'Neill has talked about the fact that Kris Prather's hand is so super clean through the front part of the lane, he's allowed to play a little bit farther right. The numbers are showing you just that. Entry position just about the same, but check out these numbers right here. Break point about the same, but position at the arrows and the launch, the laydown area, you can see how much deeper Jordan is.
This is exactly where things started to go a little sideways last match in the 7th frame.
Well, all right, but look at this right here. Remember that anything outside of the 6th board, you're going to find an oil slick.
Open frame.
Yeah, but he's got such a big lead, and Landin yet to put 2 strikes together.
At least he didn't do what I did last year here and get 1 on the washout there.
Didn't you shoot the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10 twice?
Twice in a row on the left lane. Must be something with that lane.
I think it is. I think it's just that lane.
Prather's first open frame here tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like a ball change, Billy.
Yeah, it does. I'm not familiar with the ball, but it's a change.
Whatever it is, it works.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, here you go. That's a Max Thrill Pearl.
A who?
Max Thrill Pearl.
Max Thrill Pearl. We saw him talking to his bowl reps during the commercial break. Our good fan and friend, Richard Allen, providing some support for him.
I think he's trailing by so much here. You have to swing for the fences, and you got to try something to. To throw a couple in a row to try to put a little bit of pressure back on Kris.
And this guy bowled 56 games since last Sunday.
Yeah.
Just to get here.
Had to make it through the PTQ. I can't remember a PTQ ever at the U.S. Open. It was always such a huge field, but there was something like 5 spots for over 90 bowlers.
It's
incredible.
It's a very difficult tournament to get into if you're not one of the automatic qualifiers.
There's our guy, Richard Allen. Richard.
He looks like he's changed jobs, like he's a professor now.
He looks like a truant officer.
Billy and I were talking during the commercial break, Rob.
Just a couple Hall of Famers having a chat.
Yeah, just having a
during
chat.
The commercial break. Go on.
Well, we were talking about the learning curve and how big it is out here on the PBA Tour and where you start, right? And you start with learning how to cash out on tour, and then you learn how to try to make match play, and then you learn how to win matches, and then you learn how to make it to television, and then you have to learn how to win on television.
Yeah, I mean, you're out here. At no point during the week is it silent when you bowl. When you get up there, you're having the people off to the set, to the side, telling you when you can bowl and when you can't. There's no commercial breaks during the qualifying, so it's a whole new experience, and everything happens so fast.
Who do you think adapted the best or the quickest to the television aspect of things?
I think you'll probably see him in a couple matches here.
Tom Daugherty? Tom Daugherty?
You were just waiting to get a dig in on Tom there, but I was talking about Anthony. Anthony's been good on television since the moment he.
Yeah.
This is where he won the Masters. That was his first title.
His first major.
First major.
Yeah.
Yep. Masters back in 2016.
His first title was the doubles when he was 19.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's fearless, and he's been that way since he first came out. It's not nothing.
Simonsen,
Nothing that doesn't. This whole scene does not bother Anthony one bit.
Simonsen, the 5 seed. You'll see him to wrap up our broadcast tonight on FS1. Again, only one of these bowlers tonight will move on to the finals tomorrow over on Fox. Our coverage for that one begins at 4 Eastern. Landin Jordan gets all 10 to go here. Great future for this 18-year-old who will get back in the car with mom and dad and brother and his twin sister and his grandparents. And you know what he's got? He's got class in the morning on Monday. Get back to Sycamore High School, young man. Study up. But again, he's more worried about working on his prom dates than the academics right now. And
as it should be.
Strong man again. Young man off to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, where he'll be bowling with his twin brother Griffin next year.
There's another one of these?
There's another one.
Oh, boy.
And he bowled the PTQ.
Yep. Made it to the PTQ.
Yep. There's another one.
Like, oh, man.
Another person coming from my job.
There's too many of these.
Too
many good young kids out there.
It's a good problem to have if you're bowling.
Yeah, it was funny. I said the same thing about Bill when I first saw him.
Right? Yeah, the crowd recognizing the tremendous week here from Landin Jordan. And
classy crowd here in Indy.
They know this sport awfully well.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean, you're talking about a center that's hosted every major.
The only one to do that. Standing ovation for the 18-year-old. He's done with a 170. And Prather will be moving on again.
Prather looking at another ball here to spill. This went to an Ion Pro.
This is the best part about getting a big lead in a match, is being able to experiment.
Yeah.
You know, for the next one, because there's no practice for Kris before the next match, so there's no opportunity for him to try anything, in between. So he's got to, just take a look at another ball and see what it does. I'm sure he would have liked to make a better shot there to get a better read. But I'm sure he'll throw it again here and get a better idea what this ball's doing.
Strong starts, big early leads. The early storyline here for Kris Prather. Back-to-back commanding victories for the 8 seed. Won by 54 over Graham Fach.
What do you think? Put that one on the shelf?
Probably going to stay with the other one, if I had to guess.
218, 170. Kris Prather moves on. Up next, your 6 seed, Tom Daugherty. And oh, you bet we're going to revisit a little something that happened back in 2011, Tom. You can run, but you can't hide from me, Daugherty. The PBA is proud to have Bowlers to Veterans link as the official charity of the PBA Tour. Today's BBL Salute to Veterans. That man, we welcome in retired U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Bill Goodman, who served for 21 years. Bill, thank you for your service, and to donate, go to bvl.org. And Randy, we know who Bill Goodman is.
Yes, we certainly do. Thanks for being here, Bill. That is the father-in-law of E.J. Tackett.
E.J. Tackett, your number 2 seed. We'll see him in action tomorrow on Fox. 2 more matches still to come today on FS1. 8 versus 6. Tom Daugherty to take on Kris Prather, the winner to meet your 5 seed, Anthony Simonsen.
Never mind. Off the set. I got it.
Getting a little pep talk there from his good buddy Sean Maldonado, the Candyman.
Rob Stone, the Hall of Famers. Bill O'Neill, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler with you here.
It's always a nice break, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was getting a little uncomfortable the last half of that last game, and this is the point of the show when you have to start moving pretty far left. And I think from the looks of it, the front of the lane is getting pretty dry as you keep moving left. So this is, I anticipate some lower scores here in the next couple matches.
The vet from just outside Tampa. Tom Daugherty rolls that one in for a strike.
Not gonna throw it like that, though.
Tom and his family living in Riverview, Florida right now. Just a few weeks shy of turning the big 5-0.
Yeah, I asked him if he had any thoughts on the senior tour. And he said, I have one thought, cha-ching.
He said, I'm looking forward to rolling next to some slower balls in the future.
Going with the Black Widow on that right lane.
Back-to-back opening jacks.
And that looked like a center pearl. Is that right, Bill?
That's right, yeah.
I mean, it's your company, man. You can jump in anytime and give us some names.
Listen, I don't know what I'm allowed to do around here.
Dude, you're a Hall of Famer. You can do anything you want.
Absolutely.
That's a great point. Somebody bring me a drink.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a water, sir. Here's a water, Mr. Hall of Famer. Would you like a Kit Kat to go with that?
No.
How about a Slim Jim? I know some guys that could probably hand you a couple of free packets of Dude Wipes.
Orange White, Orange Whip. Oh, boy.
And I think Bill nailed it. Uncomfortable towards the end of game 2. Lane's transitioning. And Billy, you said it, man. It's time to start moving in. But does he do that with the same ball? Or does he go to something a little more responsive, something that's going to come around the corner?
Yeah, it looks like Tom is further left and he's separating his angles a little bit, trying to create hold with angle. And what Kris looks like he's doing now is that he's fighting it a little bit. He's not far enough left, and you can tell like he's fallen off balance on a few of those shots, and he's trying to like force it through that spot instead of like in the beginning he was softer with his hand and everything was smoother and he was more on balance. And if he can get a little further left here and get his hand back in that spot,
he keeps looking, Bill, at that right hand too. I don't know if that's where he's playing the blame game or if there's something that's bothering him.
Well, I think he knows that his hand is a little bit too aggressive at the bottom, but I think that's what happens sometimes when you get uncomfortable with your ball reaction.
Still looking for a strike here. Remember, in his first 2 matches, he had the opening 6 and now struggles. So for the first time, he's forced to play some come-from-behind bowling.
And that ball actually got back farther right than that 6-7 board down lane. That was just outside the 4th board. Surprising that it got back to the pocket.
Well, that's what Kris creates. He does that. He does that with his hand. Now he just has to figure out how to get the shape right in order for him to strike. Because that ball came from too far right. It was behind the head pin, and that's why it didn't strike. But this is the tough part about bowling on TV. I mean, this happens so fast, and if Tom throws a couple more here, he puts the heat on him really early.
Daugherty getting his mic pack adjusted. Take a look at this. This is one of Rob's favorites.
January 11th, 2011 in Vegas at the TOC. Daugherty was your 2 seed, taking on Mika Kogunemi, your 3 seed. Tom rolled 7 splits, a record low 100 on television, and he had to nail that last shot to get 100.
That was good.
Just missing the 10 pin
he
there.
He hit the head pin every shot, and he also never got 0 on the spares.
Right.
He still only bowled 100. It's
and
really
Mika just missed a 300 game.
Yeah.
Went with a 299. It was one of the craziest games in the history of the PBA.
It's a record that'll never be broken in sports. Ever.
I hope not. Mr. 100.
Hey, but guys, did you ever
forever hold this spot?
Did you ever see anyone handle it better than Tom did that day?
He had the entire place in his hand cheering for him to get to triple digits.
Yeah.
And we were screaming and yelling like he won the TOC. Instead, it was just 100.
In fairness, I've never seen anybody bowl 100, so I don't know.
Right. You don't know what it looks like.
What the other reactions would be like.
You can come join my family sometime, Bill. You're going to see a lot of sub 100s.
I meant on TV.
Oh, carry on. Well, we televise everything, the Stone family. All right, back on the strike train, Tommy D. He's yelling at me.
Yeah, he is.
He's yelling at me. My friend and me, Tom Daugherty. We're going to have a banger of a 50th birthday party for him. He doesn't know about it yet. It's all on the down low.
He's got a good look early on. Kris staying with the same ball he started with in game 1.
Still a member of Team USA is Kris. 244, a 218. Now gets a strike here in the fourth.
Just a little bit left with his feet on that shot and a little bit softer. Tom Daugherty's a good 5 boards left on the approach and a couple boards with his target farther inside than Kris Prather. Here, almost halfway through match number 3.
And he's looking for his first double, trying to find it here in the fifth, down 23.
Wow. Oh, man. And Bill O'Neill, it really looks like he's trying to give it the business at the bottom of the swing now, right? Really trying to get around it and float that ball through the front.
Yeah, that was as good a shot as you can throw, especially off the last one he threw on that lane where it got a little bit right of that and it went behind the head pin and left the 10 pin. You don't really expect to leave the 9 pin on a shot like that. It just to me it tells you that the ball's not quite right or his hand's too far around the side, one or the other.
A little too sharp in the back part of the lane to go by the 9 pin and then a little late with that 10 pin.
Yeah, correct. He probably needs to move a little bit more left and get his hand rolling a little bit. That's why Tom's ball looks pretty good because he can roll it a little heavier, a little more end over end, and
It's only
control the back of the lane a little bit.
First time on TV for Tom since 2022. I'm not sure what he's waiting on right now. Is there a ball return issue? Or?
I think the right lane is on second cycle.
Thank you.
Now it's going down live in the Big Easy as the NFL on Fox team hosts America's Super Bowl party. Performances by John Batiste and the Tubi Red Carpet with Olivia Culpo. The Super Bowl 59 pregame show live at 1 Eastern on Fox, streaming on Tubi. Daugherty gets all 10 to go. Bill O'Neill has, shall we call it, a vested interest in the Super Bowl next Sunday?
Yeah, listen, and if anybody out there has a ticket or two they want to give me
Here
to
we
that
go.
game, I'll take it.
For a
You know
Hall
what
of
I mean?
Famer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what a great present that would be.
Big Eagles fan. Oh, your family must be jacked up for that. The boys are just bouncing.
My son Gavin has his Saquon Barkley jersey all ready to go.
Nice move by the Giants.
Great pickup. Giants are just a train wreck.
I mean,
right? Enough said.
yeah.
Enough said. Giants bad, Eagles good.
Yep.
Tom Daugherty having his way right now.
You see that shot inside of that middle arrow, and pretty good shot there by Tom Daugherty. Double, 9 spare double.
Oh my God, I missed it.
He did miss it.
Typically a good spare shooter.
Knew it immediately. Knew it immediately, and not the shot you want to go to break on. Daugherty versus Prather, the winner to take on your 5 seed, Anthony Simonsen. FS1's live coverage of the U.S. Open from Indy rolls on after this. Welcome back to day one coverage of the 2025 U.S. Open. Kris Prather currently down 20 pins.
Hey, let's go down to the floor and talk to Kris Prather's tour rep, the Hall of Famer, Tim Mack. Timmy, what advice did you give Kris during the break?
Listen, we got together with Rob Gauchel, our tour lead, and Kris had some problems with his thumb, so we added some pieces of tape, and we're going to make a ball change on the left lane. I look for him to come out of commercial and make 2 really good shots.
All right, Timmy, thanks.
Thank you.
Kris saying earlier in the match, we kind of caught him on camera saying all this rosin and still can't hold on to the ball. And we talked about his conversations, Randy, with ball reps. And he felt like that might have been one of the problems of last year that he defined as meh and lackluster. He said unfocused bowling, relying on others people's opinions to make changes rather than my own intuition.
Just throw it to the right.
He said
Literally
this
all
week,
you have to do.
95% of the time he's been using my intuition, using the bowl reps as more of a sounding board.
Again, another shot that Kris did not like off his hand, did not get far enough to the right, and just seems like he's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it just looks like he's unsure what the ball is going to do when he gets it to the right. He had, in the left lane, he had the ball go to the a little bit too far to the right, left the 10 pin, a little bit to the left of that, and it's stone 9. So he's just kind of unsure. So he's trying to be too perfect.
Bill O'Neill, as a Hall of Famer, you get to read this.
Oh, the clean wipe presented by Dude Wipes.
All right, sell it a little bit more, could you?
I'm not a professional at this.
Nah, you're right.
How about try this? No fear, all clear. Dude Wipes.
No fear, all clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
There you go, Bill.
I got the
Well
voice
done.
inflection right that time.
There's a ball change on the left lane finally. Went to a Road Warrior. Beauty.
Oh. Speaking of Road Warrior, huh? WWE in town.
What?
This weekend. Yeah, the Road Warriors, one of the all-time great tag teams.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Royal Rumble coming up soon. Yep.
That bus is pulling out of the parking lot here at Woodland.
Bus is leaving
right
in about
after
40
the
minutes
show.
with or without you. Daugherty up 23. Oh, come on. Man.
Well, that looked pretty good, and it was pretty aggressive at the bottom, wasn't it, Bill?
Yeah, it looked a little firmer, and I think that's why it held, even though it was a little bit left the target there. But his hand's in a really good spot, so he's creating a lot more area down the lane because he's not getting around the side of it too much. But Tom's got to settle in here. Sometimes on TV he gets himself a little bit too steep. His upper body goes a little too far forward, and that's where those shots left come into play. So he needs to get his legs back under him and just make a good shot and put the pressure back on Kris.
It's a nice rebound after that open frame and then the long commercial break and then watching Prather roll.
Yeah, having to sit there in the commercial and stew after you miss the 10 pin that's tough.
Yeah. Look at that left lane. You can see the oil pattern right there. Look at the light colored boards on the outside part of the lane.
Oh my God.
Hate it. Good break.
It's 9 to fall.
Yeah, it's going to be well inside a target.
And that's kind of exactly what I was just talking about there with Tom. Like, he gets himself a little bit too forward, and he's trying to be too perfect, and that's when his hand goes over the top and he misses left.
So a little too forward early makes you steep.
Yeah, it makes him steep, and so
swing.
so when you think about like your hand coming down, in order for him to clear the ball, his hand has to come around the side in order to project it out in lane. Otherwise, it would go more into the ground. And so he's trying to get it back onto his target, but it ends up being left.
I feel like I might have picked up. I don't know. Think I can move and get away with it? Do you think I can move and get away with it?
All right, they're saying, hey, Tom's saying, do you think I can move? Meaning move more inside and get away with it. There's a ball change on the right lane as well for Prather, and really good back-to-back jacks. It's a good 4 and 2 left for Prather. 4 boards with his feet, 2 with his target. And again, the ball change. He's right back in this, only trailing by 12. He can cut it to 2 with a strike here in the 9th. You see
Fourth strike, his first pair, looking for 3 in a row.
You saw the max scores as well, 223, 225. Big shot here.
Oh boy. Look at this split he leaves.
I think that shot was directionally perfect. I just thought he threw it a little bit slower than the previous shot on this lane, but I think he threw it exactly where he wanted to throw it.
Yeah, and you're right, Billy. The strike track is showing a half a mile slower on that shot.
Ooh! Almost got the 10. Open frame at a horrible time for Prather.
Huge break for Daugherty.
Yeah, especially he's trying to find himself here, so he'll take 9 here and 9 in the 10th frame and move on.
Daugherty in the 9, gets all 10.
And that's a big break for Tom. He doesn't have to shoot another spare there, and it saves the count. So now he can kind of experiment a little bit here.
Does he need to? I mean, his bar reaction looks pretty good, and you touched on it earlier. The difference between him and Prather is that Tom's actually rolling it a bit more. Prather's more on the side.
Yeah, it sounded like he was contemplating a bigger move left, and I think he, if he See, he lofted that one more. So that was what he wanted to do. He wanted to try to loft it a little bit more.
Hey, you got to see me win, Rob. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good, Tommy. This one is done and dusted, baby. I get to see you some more. Daugherty
Rob
moving
still
on.
sucks, in case you're wondering.
He's throwing darts at me,
No,
man.
we don't.
No, those aren't darts. Those are haymakers.
He's trying to knock me out, man. Good luck, brother. You ain't going to pin me 1, 2, 3. So Simonsen next for the soon-to-be 50-year-old. A lot of gray creeping in on that side of the head of Daugherty.
You got an empty seat for him on your way to the Rumble?
For Daugherty, he and I are going to be fighting for it. Put him in a headlock, sleeper hold, put him down for the count. Daugherty, 214, moves on. Congratulations, Tom.
I gotta leave.
Good ovation for Kris Prather. Wonderful week. Strong evening here. Won the first 2 in commanding fashion. Gets a late strike to maybe softly make the exit a little bit more welcoming, but he thought he had a deep run for him. His quest for a Triple Crown will have to be moved on to another day.
And pretty strong for Kris Prather, battling a sinus infection all week long just to make it to this.
Yeah, Kris is in pretty good form. You're going to see more of him this year than you did last year.
I agree.
For sure, one more shot here. He steps up, rolls it. This is going to take forever. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Curves away, doesn't matter. Who cares? Hey, the big story, Bill O'Neill, congratulations going in
appreciate
to
you
the
guys.
2025 PBA Hall of Fame. Thanks for joining us the last 2 games. Go Eagles.
It was great to be here. Thank you, guys.
See you next week.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
happy for you, brother. So happy for you. All right, our final match of the evening coming up next. Your 5 seed, Anthony Simonsen, taking on Mr. 100, Tom Daugherty. Welcome back to FS1's live coverage of the 83rd edition of the U.S. Open, presented by Go Bowling. It's the play-in round. One more match to go tonight. The winner to move on to tomorrow's finals coverage over on Fox. Here's a look at your updated Stepladder bracket, and the Kris Prather run has come to a close. Tom Daugherty taking match number 3, 214, 177. Prather undone by a couple of open frames. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson, back here with you. Listen, you and I know intimately well that the best bowlers in the planet right here, week in, week out on the PBA Tour. But there's plenty of talent out there that maybe flies a little bit under the radar. So who are those talents? Well, that is the focus of this week's edition of Pressing Questions, courtesy of Kimberly Pressler.
Stu, who would you say is the most underrated bowler on tour?
Me? I don't know.
Are you asking me?
Well, I guess. Michael Davidson he's always been a really good bowler. You know, we're seeing what he's capable of now.
I feel like there's not many anymore because a lot of those guys have wins now under their belt.
And what about the fact that a lot of people were saying last year that you were the most underrated bowler?
It felt amazing.
Tom Smallwood. I don't think he necessarily gets the press he deserves.
Trevor Roberts. I think he's criminally underrated.
Would it surprise you that a few of the guys have actually said you are one of the most underrated?
I mean, that's kind of surprising, yeah, but that's cool.
The guy gets in through the PTQs, and every time he does, he makes a run.
Kris, who would you say is the most underrated bowler on tour right now?
The Kansas City Chiefs are probably the most underrated team in football. Oh, we're not talking about the Bills?
No, they're overrated. You mispronounced that.
I'm going to have to give some love to my boy Cam Crow. You know, he's a lefty, he throws it hard, but I think he's been putting some work in, and he may impress a few people this year.
Jake Peters, probably Jake Peters. I mean, what he can do with the ball is insane. And he's one of my good friends, so he can't say I didn't do anything for him. I'm saying on national television that he's the most underrated bowler on tour. So
that's a good friend right there.
Come on now.
Pressing Questions presented by Go Bowling. Cameron Crowe right there. We got to see him bowl a little bit late this afternoon. He is an impressive young man.
He doesn't leave anything in the bag.
No,
yeah, he
that
brings
two-handed
it.
lefty style. One guy who is not underappreciated, one guy who's not flying under the radar on the PBA Tour, the man we're about to see, the 5-seed Anthony Simonsen.
Yeah, he may be one of the most feared guys out here. He's top 3 in my book.
We were talking to Bill O'Neill earlier. and saying, all right, what pro out there did you see as the quickest to adapt to the pressure under the lights of bowling for TV and bowling for big money? And that's the guy he pointed to.
Yeah, well, we talked about that big curve, right? That big learning curve, and he said that Anthony Simonsen by far was probably the fastest to learn and figure it out. And I mean, that's evident by being the youngest to win not one but 5 majors, right? 16 titles. He's not 30 yet.
The youngest to win a major, the youngest to win this tournament, the U.S. Open. Coming up next, Simonsen taking on the vet, Tom Daugherty. It's our final match tonight. The winner moves on to the finals tomorrow on Fox. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to gobowling.com to find a center near you. We are back inside Royal Pin Woodland in Indianapolis. Our continuing coverage of the 2025 U.S. Open presented by Go Bowling. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler with you. And Kimberly, we've got a bit of a developing story ahead of our next match.
We sure do. So Anthony's been struggling with lower back pain through the month of January, but you just asked to stand through the entirety of this match. Give us an update on your back.
I'm feeling okay. It's definitely just one of those things where sitting down, body tightens up a lot quicker. We bowled 48 games this week, and I think I set a combined maybe 10 or 15 frames. So we're going to try to go out here, make 10 good shots, and see what happens.
I know it's been a challenging week for you, and you just missed tomorrow's show by just a few pins, but you've worked hard to get here. How were you able to do that, even with the back pain?
I've been doing a lot of stretching. Had a guy help me out, Mike. Took good care of me last Friday, and then since Tuesday, we've definitely made some improvements. The starting and stopping hurts a little bit, but other than that, we're ready to go.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
So Simonsen chasing his 17th PBA Tour title and his 6th major. The winner of this one moves on to tomorrow's championship round live on Fox 4 Eastern.
Over here, over there.
And Daugherty will start us off, your 6th seed from Riverview, Florida, just outside of Tampa. Tom, a 37-pin winner earlier over Kris Prather. Boom, blew that one up.
Didn't hurt.
Talked about that back bothering him to Kimberly. Let's see if we see any signs of it here.
Wow, much straighter, much farther right than what we've seen today. But no surprise, Simonsen doing that. He looks fine. He's a good 7 boards right of Daugherty. How about 8 boards right? Plastic spare ball.
Gets the 10 pin.
The Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
Simonsen can do it all.
Flips over to the left lane after that spare.
Simonsen going with Equinox. As we take a look at his arsenal.
Backed off.
I think he heard something in the crowd and said he should have backed off and didn't. But he's really got to push it through that part of the lane. With all of the action that we've had thus far this afternoon.
Good cleanup. Back-to-back spares for Simonsen.
Partner Rob Stone, man, he doesn't miss a beat. Literally out of Tom Daugherty's hand, he started motioning me with his right hand. How Tom really kind of got around that one. So if you look at this spot right here, that's where Tom's laydown is, and that part of the lane is dry on the left side. So what he has to do is loft it a little bit just to get it through that dry part of the lane. He's that far left now. But he definitely got around that one, didn't he? And that one.
3 in a row to start for Daugherty.
All right, so why is he getting around it like that? You're the one that noticed it. He's getting it around the side more to do what? To create more down lane reaction, to create more shape when it comes off the end of the pattern.
Couldn't have said it better, my friend.
So the more side rotation, the more left-hand turn it's going to have, the more end over end, the more subtle it's going to be.
And guess what? He put a whole lot of early pressure on that man, Anthony Simonsen, leads at 23. Simo, spare, there's his first strike.
So hard to win a one-game match, especially when you're in the final match. And Simonsen already down by 23. Daugherty, I think, has a great picture as to what the oil pattern is giving him and how he needs to attack it.
If Simonsen can run this ladder, which continues tomorrow, could become one of 13 to win multiple U.S. Open titles. His first and only so far came in 2022. Tom Daugherty came into this event having placed 14th at consecutive U.S. Opens. He's going to finish much better than that this year.
Oh, you heard him. Go, 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 go.
Just a little bit. Get it over there.
Left the 4-pin.
Looks like it was just a pinch slow for Tom Daugherty.
Three strikes and a spare to start for Daugherty. So his lead is at 12. We begin the 5th. Again, uninterrupted coverage of this, our final match tonight. The winner moves on to tomorrow's championship round. Andrew Anderson, your #1 seed. Back-to-back player of the year, E.J. Tackett, your 2 seed. Kris Fach at 3, Francois Lavoie, your 4 seed. All those in action tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Come on, 10.
And all those you mentioned for tomorrow's telecast, all major championship winners, 3 of them United States Open winners. Tom Daugherty goes light, leaving the 210. First time he's left this all week. That's hard to believe. 48 games.
Oh my goodness. Why didn't that one hook? Why didn't that one hook?
And just like that, a 1-pin match.
It was about 3 boards right down lane for Daugherty. Maybe that had something to do with it not coming back.
Simonsen made a great run at Player of the Year honors last season with 3 titles.
Harry.
He's up, and he's about to add to it. Now 11 pins up after that early deficit. What a turn of events.
That was quick.
Sure was.
Another beauty right here by Simo, playing just inside 3rd arrow.
After opening up with spare, he's looking for a ham bone here.
Oh no. Inside.
Ham bone! A dirty ham bone, but he'll take it.
Yeah, that was pretty dirty. You heard him say it right as he let go of it. Uh-oh. Inside a target, going up the lane, right through the face. kicks the 10 out for a 4-bagger.
Oh, boy. Well done, Tom.
Yeah, that was a good one. Kick save on the 10 and a beauty.
And he needed that momentum to come back to his camp.
Can cut it to 11. This is beautiful right here. He's going to be 50 next month.
This month.
Is it this month?
Yeah, we're in
we're
February.
in February. He's going to be 50 in a couple of weeks. Wow. Look at that oil pattern. You can see the line right there.
Oh, my God. I don't like this lane.
Left of target on that left lane.
Well, good thing he gets to finish on the right lane.
Simonsen steps up, close out the 7th, up 21. He's figured it out.
That's taking advantage right there. Crossover, goes to the nose, trips 10 out late, and then trips the 4 for a 5-timer. And a 31-pin lead through 7. What a career he's had, and he's only 28 years old.
16 titles, 5 majors. 3 titles last year.
Loves it.
Second U.S. Open, leaves one there. At this tournament, he's been so comfortable here. Go back to 2016, finished 4th. 2019, 3rd. 2020, 2nd. 2022, 1st. 2023, 4th. Last year, runner-up. 6 top 4 finishes at the most demanding tournament on the tour, arguably.
The hardest. No argument about it. You don't backdoor your way to a U.S. Open win.
Come on, a couple more frames.
So again, Simonsen goes over to that corner. He is standing throughout this match to make sure that back doesn't lock up. Tom Daugherty remains seated as the right lane finally clears. So he did burn, it's showing he burned a re-rack, and it was. So Daugherty on the right, down 30, needs a big rally, and it needs to start now.
How quickly things change on the PBA Tour. He started with the front 3. It looked like it was going to be a rout. Now trails by 33.
I mean, he had a 23-pin lead at one point early on.
Through 3 frames.
Good cleanup. Good cleanup. But he needs Simonsen to make a mistake or 2.
Well, gives himself a slight chance.
I can move more.
Max scores 223 for Daugherty. Simonsen already in the 230s. Little off on that shot to try to get it to go down lane and scoot just a pinch. Now it's all up to this man.
Just keeps on going. Had those
re-rack.
2 spares to start. Been ripped off 5 straight strikes. A 9 spare and another strike here. Asked for a re-rack. 9 pins for moving on.
One good one right here.
9 and 2 balls gives him 224.
I feel like that's doable.
Yeah. There it is.
There's your 9. And Simonsen moves on. The crowd hasn't quite done the math yet.
We have.
We have help. Well, I have help. So you will see Anthony Simonsen, and all that does is just make that group of 5 even stronger tomorrow. He'll open up against Francois Lavoie, the winner to take on Kris, then your 2 seed EJ Tackett, and your 1 seed Andrew Anderson, who's been so dominant throughout the course of this week here. We speed things up with Simonsen already having moved on.
Simonsen in another top 5 finish at the U.S. Open.
Like clockwork.
It's amazing. But you know what, Tom Daugherty? What a great week for him, and I can promise you.
Nice ball, bro.
All right, good luck tomorrow.
Good job.
The players on the PBA 50 tour,
watch out.
Do not want to see this man come out there.
Watch
out.
out.
All right, let's go get some sleep.
233 to 211. 22-pin win. Simonsen moves on to the final 5.
Ooh, my favorite place to be, Woodland Bowl on Sunday. See you tomorrow.
Oh, nice teaser for us, Anthony. We appreciate that. The moment of the match brought to you by Pilgrims. Hey, chicken can be boring, but Pilgrims is turning chicken nuggets upside down. I love it. You love it. Put it in a nugget. Anthony Simonsen moving on. We'll be back to wrap up tonight's U.S. Open coverage next. Welcome back to Royal Pin Woodland, just outside of Indianapolis. This is the 2025 U.S. Open, presented by Go Bowling. Here's the 5 faces you'll see on tomorrow's show over on Fox. Andrew Anderson, your top seed. We're going to hear from number 2 seed EJ Tackett in a moment. Kris, Francois Lavoie, and just added to that list, your 5 seed Anthony Simonsen, who's standing by with Kimberly.
Anthony, congratulations on this win. Now, we already talked about how bad your back was, but what does it say about you and your will to win, the fact that you were able to persevere, even with the back pain, to come and take this win today?
I don't think there's anything that any member out here on the tour enjoys more than majors. Those are the ones that you want to step up the most for. So the body's progressively getting better at the beginning of the week, so I think that was a little bit of a confidence boost. We're going to get some more rest tonight and hopefully be able to be loosened up and ready to go for tomorrow's show.
Well, this is the 4th consecutive U.S. Open major that you are making. Walk us through what's going through your mind right now.
Obviously, I love Woodland Bowl. There's been a few shows made here. It's one of those events. I know the scoring pace is going to be a little bit lower, which is something that I enjoy. I can obviously throw 9 or 10 strikes just like everybody else. It's just not what I prefer to do. So getting myself mentally prepared for this week, I think, has definitely helped. Bowling 220s are normally good games, and that's what we're going to continue to try to do.
Congratulations, and good luck to you tomorrow.
Thanks.
It'll be the 4th straight year that Simonsen will have a top 5 finish here at the U.S. Open. The man, though, on top of the stepladder, Holly, Michigan's Andrew Anderson, and what a dominating week he has had. We flash back, though, to the 2018 USBC Masters, and Anderson, the 1 seed there, like he will be tomorrow. His first career PBA title, first career major for Andrew Anderson. Later that year, he would be named as the PBA Player of the Year, and he is the man that everybody's going to be gunning for tomorrow. Anderson has never won the U.S. Open, but Kimberly is with somebody who has your 2 seed, EJ Tackett.
You just mentioned he's the number 2 seed, but you came from 76th and got all the way to the 2nd. So how were you able to accomplish that?
Well, a lot of strikes in round 3, that's for sure. I I think I went in 76th or 77th or whatever it was to start round 3, and I bowled 180 the first game, which I think put me backwards in the 80s somewhere. And then my ball decided to start striking a bunch after that. In the last game of qualifying, I threw a 5-bagger to end of the game to shoot, I think, 220 or something like that to get myself enough pins to make the cut. Got in 22nd, and then, 24 games around robin match play. There's a lot to be done there. There's 720 bonus pins, and I think I got 540 of them. So I bowled really, really good in match play, and now I gave myself another opportunity to win a U.S. Open.
Well, you got a powerhouse of a bunch of players going up against you tomorrow. Thought process going into that?
Well, everyone's been here. Everyone's done it. The guy that's the #1 seed is the only one on the show that hasn't won a U.S. Open. So that could definitely change tomorrow, but the guys that are on the show have been here, done it, and they'll be ready. And I'm going to try to do the same.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll see EJ Tackett tomorrow. A reminder, we crown a major champion at 4 Eastern on Fox is when our coverage begins as we wrap up the Stepladder Finals of the U.S. Open presented by Go Bowling, your first major of the year. Coming up next, NASCAR Cup Series qualifying the clash at Bowman Gray. Anthony Simonsen, your 5 seed, a 233-211 winner over Tom Daugherty to move on to tomorrow's final round. For Randy Peterson, Kimberly Preston, our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. We'll see you tomorrow on Fox.